Hi guys, welcome again to Learning TWI, the fun way with TWI Junior Pro. My name is Chrissy, and for today's lesson we had 3 people that needed something translated, but I moved Jules' translation to next week's live lesson because he needs more detailed translation for what he wanted. So the very first person that needed something translated this week was Jossiah. Jossiah, thanks again for your continued support, and this is what Jossiah wanted. So Jossiah wanted to know how to say something smells really nice in TWI. Now that in TWI can be said as Biribi hwam woha. Again, Biribi hwam woha. One last time, Biribi hwam woha. So if you literally slow it down, right, it's written as Biribi, right? So again, Biribi hwam woha. But you can actually say this as well. Ɛdeɛn ne hwam sa. Again, Ɛdeɛn ne hwam sa. One last time, Ɛdeɛn ne hwam sa. So that in English should be what smells so good. And the next thing that Jossiah wanted to know was, what are you cooking? Now, what are you cooking in TWI is ɛdeɛn na worenoa. Again, ɛdeɛn na worenoa. One last time, ɛdeɛn na worenoa. And the next thing that Jossiah wanted to know was, I knocked but nobody answered. Now, that in TWI can be said as Mebɔɔ, nanso, obiara angye. Again, Mebɔɔ, nanso, obiara angye. One last time, Mebɔɔ, nanso, obiara angye. And the last thing that Jossiah wanted to know was, you work too hard. Now that in TWI can relatively be said in 2 ways. Now the first one can actually say that is, woyɛ adwuma or woyɛ adwumaden. So again, woyɛ adwuma or woyɛ adwumaden. One last time, woyɛ adwuma or woyɛ adwumaden. Now the next person that wanted me to translate something was Daniel. Daniel, thanks again for your continued support. And these are the things that Daniel wanted to know. One day it will happen. Now that in TWI can be said in 2 ways. Now the very first one can say that is dako ɛbesi. Or you can say dakoro ɛbesi. Mind you, this is still the first statement. So in TWI, Koro or ko represents a date, right? So you can say dako ɛbesi or dakoro ɛbesi. Again, dako ɛbesi or dakoro ɛbesi. Now the second way one can actually say that would be dako ɛbɛbam or dakoro ɛbɛbam. Again, dako ɛbɛbam or dakoro ɛbɛbam. One last time, dakoro ɛbɛbam or dako ɛbɛbam. So the 2 ways of saying one day it will happen will be dako ɛbesi or dako ɛbɛbam. Now the second thing that Daniel wanted to know was, when will it happen? Now when will it happen in TWI can be said in 2 ways. Now the first one can actually say that is Dabɛn ɛbesi. Again, Dabɛn ɛbesi. One last time, Dabɛn ɛbesi. Now the second way one can actually say that is Dabɛn ɛbɛbam. Again, Dabɛn ɛbɛbam. One last time, Dabɛn ɛbɛbam. Now the third thing that Daniel wanted to know was, how come you didn't respond to me? Now that in TWI can be said in 2 ways. Now the first one can actually say that is Ɛbaa no sɛn na woanyi. Again, Ɛbaa no sɛn na woanyi. One last time, Ɛbaa no sɛn na woanyi. Now the second way one can actually say that is Ɛbaa no sɛn na woamma me mmuaeɛ. Again, Ɛbaa no sɛn na woamma me mmuaeɛ. One last time, Ɛbaa no sɛn na woamma me mmuaeɛ. Now the next thing that Daniel wanted to know was, I feel so tired. Now feel so tired in TWI can be said as mabrɛ. Again, mabrɛ. One last time, mabrɛ. But literally translated, mabrɛ is I'm too tired, which relatively translates to I feel so tired. Now the next thing that Daniel wanted to know was, this day is going so fast. Now that in TWI can be said in 2 ways. Now the first one can actually say that is ɛda no kɔ. Again, ɛda no kɔ. One last time, ɛda no kɔ. Now the second way one can actually say that is ɛnɛ mmerɛ kɔ. Again, ɛnɛ mmerɛ kɔ. One last time, ɛnɛ mmerɛ kɔ. Now if we were to literally translate the last one, right, you're basically saying today's time is going very fast. which in turn is today is actually going fast. But the most common one that people usually use is Ɛdano contempa, which is basically saying the day is going too fast. Now, the next thing that Daniel wanted to know was, what are they talking about? Now, that in Twi can be said as Ɛdeɛn na wɔn ka ho asɛm. Again, Ɛdeɛn na wɔn ka ho asɛm. One last time. Ɛdeɛn na wɔn ka ho asɛm. Now, the next thing that Daniel wanted to know was, what are you talking about? Now, what are you talking about in Twi is Ɛdeɛn na wo ka ho asɛm. Again, Ɛdeɛn na wo ka ho asɛm. One last time. Ɛdeɛn na wo ka ho asɛm. Now, the next thing that Daniel also wanted to know was, so Daniel wanted to find out how does one say really in Twi. Now, really in Twi is sa. Again, sa. One last time, sa. Now, the next thing that Daniel wanted to know was, after that thing. Now, after that thing in Twi can be said as efri adie isua. Again, efri adie isua. One last time, efri adie isua. So the next thing Daniel wanted to know was, what was wunyumni in English? So basically, wunyumni in English would be, is this your song? Again, wunyumni is this your song? One last time, wunyumni is this your song? So the next thing Daniel wanted to know was, what is wubema in English, right? Now, wubema can literally represent two things in English. The first one would be you'll give way. Again, you will give way, or you'll make way. So there are two. So it's either you will give way or you'll make way. And that again in Twi is wubema. Now, the last thing that Daniel wanted to know was, what is enyeduro, right? Again, enyeduro. Now, in English, enyeduro is it's not medicine. Again, it's not medicine. So enyeduro in English is it's not medicine, right? Guys, I know today's lesson was a bit short, but I'm actually happy that it was a bit short. I just want to remind you guys that next week, Sunday, 6 o'clock, GMT plus 2, we'll be having a live session. So Joe, I hope you'll be tuned in, where we'll actually dive into what you asked us to actually go through, right? And remember guys, keep on spreading the word. Let anyone who wants to learn Twi or at least find out what Twi is about come to this channel, and I hope if they go through the content, they'll like it enough to actually join the family. And guys, remember, if you like the content of the channel, please click on the like button, please click on the subscribe button, and please click on the bell button for future notifications. And also, please get the Twi Junior Pro app. It's on Google Store. With that and this lesson, you learn Twi quicker. With lots of love, guys, see you next week. From me, Kwesi. Bye.